Jai Gurudev, Day 9. The 9 virtues are undoubtedly 9 gems: ruby, pearl, emerald, topaz, diamond, sapphire, gold, and jewel are all called 9 gems. Those possessing these 9 gems are considered to be happy in all respects. But according to scriptures, persons having aforesaid gem-like qualities of a Yagyopavit and Gayatri are rich as Kuber, although they may lack material wealth, land, and property. A wise person putting on Yagyopavit possesses Kalpa Vriksha, adorned with 9 gems of virtues, and always enjoys divine prosperity. For him, this Bhulok is heaven. A person having this Kalpa Vriksha attains success in all 4 kinds of noble pursuits, that is, divinity, wealth, material enjoyment, and liberation. Putting on Yagyopavit is necessary for sadhaks. Some people think that they should not put Yagyopavit as they will not be able to observe its rules. This amounts to saying one should not worship unless he has devotion to God. God is worshipped so that we may be able to develop devotion. Similarly, Yagyopavit should be put on so that conscious attempt could be made to observe its rules. Only a sick person needs medicine. People have strange misgivings about observance of rule. Some think that Yagyopavit relates only to fulfillment of certain rule, but as not taking food without taking bath, or not taking food which is not fresh or which is not cooked by a person belonging to a different caste. These are all false beliefs. The object of Yagyopavit is to promote all-round human development, which includes development of health, and to do so it is necessary to follow carefully all the rules relating to eating food. But if there remains any flaws in observing certain rules regarding food, it should not be considered that the right to put on Yagyopavit has been fortified on that account. Some people do not put on Yagyopavit or abandon it on account of fear that they are likely to forget putting Yagyopavit around their right ear while going to urinal or latrine. It is true that this rule should be strictly observed, but beginners deserve some leniency till the routine becomes a habit. In the beginning, Yagyopavit may be wrapped around the neck so that it may climb up above the waist. The main purpose in putting Yagyopavit around the ear is that it may go up above the waist so that there may not be any possibility of it being touched by any sort of impurity. If perchance one fails to wind it up around the ear, it is not necessary to change the Yagyopavit. Putting on Yagyopavit around the neck can be dispensed with as soon as a habit is formed to wind it up around the right ear. For children of tender age and other forgetful persons, Yagyopavit of 1/3 size, known as Kanthi, can be used by putting it around the neck. Small children and insufficiently refined, uncouth people often neglect to clean Yagyopavit daily, which gives bad smell on account of perspiration, dirt, etc. It was to take case of such cases that wearing of kanthi, consisting of a small string of beads of tulsi, rudraksh, or some other sacred material around the neck, came in vogue. The meaning of Gayatri Mantra. Rishis have selected the words of various mantras and arranged them in such a way that they not only convey some meaning, but their chanting also creates specific energy. Gayatri is a mantra which inspires righteous wisdom. It means that the Almighty God may illuminate our intellect, which may lead us on the righteous path. This is the most important prayer. All the problems of a person are solved if he is endowed with righteous wisdom. Having far-sighted wisdom, a man is neither entangled in avoidable calamity, nor does he tread a wrong path. A wise man intuitively finds solutions to his problems. Those who lack their clear-sightedness find themselves always facing problems and ever living from crisis. The worship of Gayatri Mantra bestows the boon of righteous wisdom. The teachings of and the powers incorporated in Gayatri Mantra fulfill this purpose. Righteous wisdom starts emerging as soon as the jap of the mantra is taken up as a sadhana. Om Bhur-Bhuva Swaha Tasya Viturvareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om means Brahma or Almighty God. Bhur, embodiment of virtual spiritual energy. Bhuva, destroyer of sufferings. Svah, embodiment of happiness. Tat, that. Savitu, bright, luminous like the sun. Varenium, best, most exalted. Bhargo, destroyer of sin. Devasya, divine. Dhimahi, may imbibe. Dhiyo, intellect. Yo, who. Nah, are. Prachodayat, may inspire. In short, it is a prayer to the Almighty Supreme God, the creator of entire cosmos, the essence of our life existence, who remove all our pains and sufferings and grant happiness, beseeching His divine grace to imbibe with us His divinity and brilliance, which may purify us and guide our righteous wisdom on the right path. A man gets imbued with divine qualities contemplating and meditating on this Gayatri. One should contemplate on these feelings daily and regularly. 3 prayer-filled meditations are given here, which should be silently recited and projected on the mental screen through imagination. The first one, the Almighty God, who is known as Pranav, pervades all the 3 lokas, that is Bhuhalok, Bhuvalok and Swahalok. He is omnipresent. The cosmos is physical manifestation of God who pervades its each and every particle. I am seeing Him everywhere. I would always refrain from evil thoughts and evil deeds and perform true worship of God by extending cooperation in promoting happiness, peace and beauty in this universe, which is the creation. This Tat, God is extremely bright, Savitur, most exalted, Varenium, devoid of sin, Bhargo, and divine, Devasya. I visualize this divinity within me and my soul. By such contemplation, I am becoming illumined. Virtues are growing in layers of my being. I am being saturated with these virtues, these characteristics of God. Third, that God may inspire, Prachodayat, our Naha, intellect, wisdom, Dhiyo, and lead us on righteous path. May our intellect, the intellects of our family members and of all of us be purified and lead us to the righteous path. On getting righteous wisdom, which is the greatest achievement and is the source of all happiness in this world, we may be able to enjoy celestial bliss in this life and make our human life purposeful. We should contemplate and meditate on these 3 prayers-filled meditations slowly, pausing for each moment on each word, and an imaginary picture of word should be drawn in the mind. While contemplating upon our first meditation, it should be imagined that God pervades all the 3 lokas, the earth, the heaven, the patal, nethermost world. God should be visualized pervading through lokas in the form of light, heat, electricity, life force, pran. This vast universe is the living physical image of God. The saadhak should try to visualize in his imagination a glimpse of all-pervading, omnipresent God, just as was given to Arjun by Lord Krishna. He should imagine that God is all around him and he is sitting in God's lap. It should be pondered how evil thoughts and evil actions could remain lodged in his mind and body in the presence of omnipotent divinity. He should imagine that each and every manifestation of this universal Godhead is adorable and that well-being lies in selfless service of this universe, this vast humanity, and in beautifying God's creation. While reflecting on the second meditation, one should imagine the extreme bright and luminous, supreme, exalted God, adorned with all the divine qualities, seated on the throne of Sadhak's heart. God can be visualized in the form of Virat Purush, Ram Krishna, Vishnu, Gayatri, Saraswati, and in the flame of a lamp. God can be meditated upon in male or mother's form according to one's own sentiments. God is female as well as male. Gayatri sadhaks prefer to meditate the Almighty God in the form of Gayatri Mata. Brilliance, supreme excellence, utmost piety, purity, and divine rightness should be visualized in the beautiful image of Gayatri Mata. It should be imagined that such a beautiful and virtuous divine power permanently dwells in the sadhak's heart and permeates all the pores of its body. While thinking on the third meditation, it should be felt that the divine power of Gayatri has caught the intellect and feelings of our head and heart and is guiding them on the path of righteousness. We are pure, concerted, and enthusiastic and are getting attained to move in the direction of righteousness with the grace of Gayatri Mata. These three kinds of prayers-filled meditation embodied in Gayatri are symbolic of Gyan Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga. In fact, contemplation of the meaning of Gayatri amounts to the Triveni of the three kinds of yoga. By such contemplation, the meaning of Gayatri Mantra is fully assimilated in the heart of the sadhak. The result is that in a short time, his mind gets diverted from evil thoughts and evil deeds, and he takes enthusiastic joy and righteous thinking and good actions. Howsoever little this tendency may be in the beginning, but it's most certain that if the practice persists, the inner self of the sadhak becomes more and more awakened, and the ultimate aim of life draws closer and closer. Gayatri Dhyan. Human brain is an extremely powerful cosmic computer. The activity, movement, and potentiality of each of its cells leaves even the greatest of scientists awestruck. Great energy is generated in the direction which these cells are applied. All the physical energy of a person is diverted in the direction of his desires, aspirations, and cravings. Emotions first arise in human mind. When the mind concentrates on such emotions, a magnetic field is created which attracts the desired elements from the atmosphere. This is the science of meditation. On this basis, Adi Shakti, the power of primordial energy pervading the interior of the nature, can be attracted by the sadhak towards him and retained by him within himself. Gayatri should be meditated upon daily at a time of jap or at any time. The sadhak should sit for meditation in a secluded place having calm and quiet atmosphere. Mind should be steady and body relaxed. While meditating during jap, one should sit in cross-legged position, keeping the backbone straight. When not meditating with jap, one can sit on an easy chair or take the support of a large round pillow, wall or tree. Body should be relaxed as if it's lifeless. Eyes should be closed. Both hands should be rested in the lap, and it should be visualized that nothing but a vast blue space exists everywhere. At the time of pralaya, nothing survives except the blue sky or space. A mental picture of such a stage of universal annihilation should be drawn in imagination, and when it is fully established, a small round mass of light should be visualized in distant space by inner vision. Thus, Gayatri should be meditated in the form of a small brilliant star as bright as the sun. With the development of concentration in meditation, this round mass of light comes more and more closer and becomes bigger and bigger, brighter. 1 minute observation, black spots are visible in the middle portion of the sun or moon. In the same way, in the round mass of light, Gayatri, a faint image of Gayatri should be visualized in the beginning. Slowly and gradually, this image appears to be clearer, smiling, speaking, sensitive, and lively to the sadhak. Before starting meditation, the picture of Gayatri Mata should be examined minutely, lovingly, and repeatedly along with each and every part, and it should be firmly established in the mind in such a way that the sadhak may be able to formulate a mental glimpse of that image within the round mass of light. In due course of time, a beautiful and enchanting image of Gayatri Mata surrounded by a round mass of brilliant light will be visible to the sadhak. Just as a person sitting in the sun feels warmth, similarly the proximity of Gayatri in the form of a mass of light suffices the sadhak's mind, his inner self, and his entire body with divine light. Just as iron when put in fire becomes red hot, so when the sadhak retains the brilliance of Gayatri within himself during meditation, he becomes one with the Almighty Goddess, becomes a rishi radiant with Brahma Tej. He feels as if the whole body has become red hot like pure gold, and celestial divine sunlight shines through him. The impurities, sins of the saadhak soul are burnt out in this light. He feels himself godlike, pure, fearless, pious, and detached.